Good day. Today we're going to be talking about an introduction to piecewise function. A piecewise function is several pieces of different functions with restricted domains on the same graph. Now we're going to look at this mainly algebraically today. This is just an introduction. And then later we will talk in depth about graphing. For today, f of negative 4. Now, all three of these are a function, but we're only going to use one of them depending on what value we're trying to put in, because each of these have a restricted domain. So, negative 4 fits into the first slot. Negative 4 is less than or equal to negative 2. I'm going to plug that into my x for the top equation then. So 2 times negative 4 plus 8, this is negative 8 plus 8, 0. Now real quick, I do want you to notice this second column for both the top and bottom problems for some reason left off the f of whatever number. That's fine, just make your own, plug it into one of the expressions, whichever number you choose accordingly, just to get a little bit of practice. All right, f of negative 2. Negative 2 also falls into the equal part of less than and equal to negative 2. So I have 2 times negative 2 plus 8. This is 4. I'm going to leave those two for you. Let's look at 5. 5 falls into the domain of 5 is greater than or equal to 5. So I have the absolute value of 5 minus 2. This is the absolute value of 3. As a reminder, the absolute value is just the distance from 0. So 3 is 3 units away from 0. I'm going to look at number 4, and then I'm going to move on. For number 4, it falls in 1 less than or equal to 4 less than 5. Now, if you look at the function for this equation, it is just 3. That means my answer is just 3. There is no more work to be done. If we look at solving these graphically, we are going to be on the x-axis looking at 2 to begin with. Draw a vertical line at 2, and it gives me negative 1 as my y value. If I go to negative 3, vertical line, notice it does go through 2 of these dots. However, one of them is an open circle. Imagine this like stringing the eye of a needle. The string goes through the eye, but does not touch the side of the eye. So we want to look at this closed circle, which is at approximately 2.5. If I go to negative 1, I pass through 2 open circles, so f of negative 1 simply does not exist. If you go to negative 4, you're going to get 2. I'm going to let you try the one on the right. Let's look at this graph. F of x is equal to 5, where x is less than or equal to 2, and 2x minus 4, where x is greater than 2. Now again, in a later lesson, we will talk about how to graph these in depth. Today, I'm just going to show you the brief version on this problem. So first, anytime you're doing a piecewise function, I recommend doing the entire function and then restricting it later, but I'm going to do this with a dashed line. So at 5, here's my function. That is y equals 5. Now it says I want this where x is less than or equal to 2. So go to my x-axis, go up to my line. It said less than or equal to, that's why it's a closed circle. I'm going to follow this direction of the arrow because it's less than. This is the first part of my function, and I can erase the right side. 2x minus 4, same thing. Here is my function. And it says I want this on the right side of 2. Here's 2. This one is an open circle because it is just greater than. I want the right side. I'm going to draw that line a little bit better. And I can erase the bottom dashed portion. This is the graph to my piecewise function. Try the one on the left, pause the video, work on the ones we did not do, and now I'm going to show you actually I'm not going to show you the answers yet. I want to show you how to do this in Desmos. Then I will show you the answers. Split view and Brave. All right. To do a piecewise function in Desmos, type in the function portion first, and then for your constraint, you're going to put in a curly bracket on a keyboard that is shift and then the thing beside P, the square bracket. So shift square bracket beside P. And now I'm going to type in x less than or equal to, so type in less than and then equal to. It'll put in a symbol for you. 2. There's that part of the graph. For my second function, 2x minus 4, where x is greater than 2. Now, one more recommendation I have the functions typed in. I'm going to close that out, and I'm going to change my grid to match my graph. This is an 8 by 8, well, 16 technically, but 8 on each side. So negative 8 to positive 8, negative 8, positive 8. My graphs should match at this point. Now, I do want you to notice Desmos does not show you the close and open circle. However, if I am to click on my line, this green one, which is a closed circle, it is the less than or equal to, gives me the coordinate 2, 5. My open circle gives me 2 undefined. Okay? So it sort of gives you the closed and open circles. You just have to know how to look for them. Okay, now try the rest of the problems, and I'm going to show you the answers. Copy down whatever you don't have, make sure your answers are correct, and then we will be finished for the day. All right, that is all that I have for you today. Have a great rest of your day.